Hi, this is Adam Sussman, Director of Research at TABB Group, joined by Kevin McPartland, Senior Analyst at TABB Group. And Kevin and I were just debating about cloud computing and its real applicability for financial services firms. I mean, Kevin, I totally get how cloud computing can be used to do stuff like backtesting a strategy. But the one thing I think I disagree with you on is whether financial services firms would really ever use cloud storage to, for client information. There just seems to be a lot of regulatory and security concerns around that.
Sure. Well, recent research that TABB Group conducted, we do see that the sell side is concerned first and foremost with security when looking at cloud computing. However, when it comes down to cost, and we are, of course, in an environment now where people are more cost conscious than they've been in years, if a cloud computing solution shows to be more cost effective than a traditional internal storage solution, it's going to be hard to ignore.
Yeah, but I mean, cost isn't everything, right? I mean, if cost were everything, then these guys probably wouldn't have any application development organizations at all. They just outsource everything to India. At some point, the IT person is going to have to weigh cost with, the value of the service to the organization, along with, hey, let's be honest, keeping their own job.
Right. Well, so obviously there's a compliance and regulatory issue here too. This data is has a lot of there's a lot of privacy concerns with this data. It's very core to the business. However, the function of actually storing that data, that's a utility function. That doesn't really add value to the business. That's not the same as handling real-time market data or creating a trading system, which firms have shown over years that they do like to keep that in-house. So it's really the security concerns, which are a bit unfounded, and the regulatory issues that are lagging a bit behind the technology.
Now, when you say the security concerns are a little bit unfounded, I mean, let's just talk about, Goldman Sachs, for example, okay? So usually they're at the top of the game. We expect them to be the best at everything, and yet they let, what they themselves admit was a powerful piece of software leave their own environment. If I see that in the headline and I'm in a hedge fund, you think I'm safer with them all of a sudden saying, what, we're just going to store everything at Google, or
that's a great example. Obviously, Goldman Sachs has proven that they're quite adept at trading, investment banking, mergers and acquisitions. They make a lot of money doing what they do. However, despite the quality of their technology, they are not a technology company. Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all they do is technology and security, and the future of those companies is very much so focused on the idea of cloud computing and services delivered through the cloud. They're spending millions of dollars and many people and many, many hours perfecting the technology, ensuring it's secure. Their whole business model is based on that. So it's pretty safe to assume that the technology and security provided by those firms is as good, if not better, than those created by the investment banks.
Yeah, but on the other hand, all of the companies you've mentioned, they've all had their troubles with security. I mean, they've had trouble handling viruses. They've had trouble, with denial of service attacks. I mean, I don't know if they're any better at this kind of stuff than the investment banks. Maybe the investment banks are a little bit better at covering it up, but it seems like I read more about some of the problems at these technology companies than I do even the financial services institutions.
I think when we see stories about Gmail, we know Gmail was down for a day or two a few months ago, but that wasn't a security breach, right? That was the software went down. That can happen to anybody. We're talking about the security of data and the storage. It's not about running applications. You're not going to see a major investment bank running their trading system off of Amazon's cloud. We know that's not realistic. They need to keep that. That's too core to their business. But for simply storing data, the idea of storing it offsite in a facility that will be secure, and it might make sense for there to be regulations to officially say that a certain data center is secure. Maybe they'll have levels that will say this is secure for private data. But that's a viable solution. That's going to provide just as much security, if not more.
Well, we'll expect Kevin to be testifying in front of Congress as to what those metrics should be as to, to judge a data center's level of security. I don't know if we're going to solve this debate today, but I get your point about cost and regulations lagging technology. So thanks for joining us. Again, this is Kevin McPartland, Senior Analyst at TABB Group, and myself, Adam Sussman, Director of Research. Thanks.